Greetings and salutations, streamers in Dreamland. Welcome to the latest edition of Listen to Me. Listen to Me, Volume 44. And today is Friday, the 8th of October, 2021. And that's right, this is the 11th hour. Yours truly, everyone's favorite boxing shaman, The Dream. Yes, I waited till the 11th hour, literally the 11th hour, to deliver this video to you, the dreamers in Dreamland. And once again, greetings and salutations. Tomorrow is the trilogy, the third fight for the World Heavyweight Championship, the WBC, the Ring Magazine World Heavyweight Boxing Championship, between the champion, Tyson Fury, and the challenger, the now challenger, Deontay Wilder. Now, this is a very interesting matchup because this is the third fight of a trilogy that started way back when in December of 2018. Now, before we get into the main event of that card, I'm going to touch upon two of the undercard fights, heavyweight fights, that I feel strongly about. Now, I'm not going to touch on Jared Anderson's fight. I believe his opponent, is likely going to be knocked out. And I don't know too much about his opponent, but I know he's not quite as heralded as Jared Anderson is in the United States of America, and I know this show is in the United States of America, and I have a feeling Jared Anderson is going to knock his opponent out, so I really didn't want to touch too much upon that fight. However, there are three very interesting fights. Obviously, the main event, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, but there are two fights on the undercard, heavyweight fights of their own rights that are truly, remarkable fights. Both of them truly, respectable, remarkable, and really can dictate some of what the landscape is going to look like going forward in the heavyweight division. And let me explain, let me divulge, let me give you some details here, okay? First and foremost, we're going to go over the 10-round fight between two undefeated prospects. And I love this fight. I absolutely love this fight. You've got a PBC fighter, okay? Frankie Sanchez from Cuba, 19-0. 13 knockouts. He's got one no contest on there, but he's 19-0 with 13 knockouts. And he's 29 years old, question mark. And listen, everybody knows since the days of El Duque, if you're a baseball fan, but any kind of Cuban athlete that has defected from Cuba, their birth certificate is definitely questionable, and more often than not, they are older than they claim to be. And, Frankie Sanchez, he's 29 years old, the Cuban Flash. That's that's what it says, but a lot of people will tell you, and this is not just me being, rude or something like that. A lot of people will tell you, Frankie Sanchez, he looks a little bit older than 29. Just a little bit older than 29. So, you can do that you can do with that what you will. We're not sure about his age, but he is 19-0 with 13 knockouts. Now, on the other side, we have a top-ranked fighter, Ashagba. Yes, he did have some fights earlier on in his career, with the PBC, but he since moved on to Top Rank, and he has since, in my opinion, he's since improved. Now, Ashagba is 15-0 with 12 knockouts. He's 27 years old. 27 years old. Now, he's from Africa, and, not exactly sure, but he doesn't really look as old as Frankie Sanchez. And there hasn't really been as many questions about how old he is, but he's 27. So he's the younger of the two fighters. Now, they both have some amateur experience, and they both have some professional experience. Frankie Sanchez has 20 professional fights. Ashagba has 15. Frankie Sanchez has 19 wins. Ashagba has 15. Ashagba has 12 knockouts. Frankie Sanchez has 13. Now, Ashagba, he definitely is the more statuesque of the two fighters. He does have a reach advantage. And I believe, in my opinion, his distance control is going to win him the fight. And I do believe it will come by way of knockout. This is a 10-round fight. So I believe this knockout will occur, I'd say, in the 6th round. The 6th or 7th round of this fight. I see Ashagba stopping Frankie Sanchez. I see him knocking him out. I see Ashagba knocking Frankie Sanchez out, and I mean knocking him out. literally where he does not answer the count of 10. Not the referee stopping it in the corner after, no, knocking him out. ICF Ashagba knocking out Frankie Sanchez in the 6th or 7th round, in the beginning of the second half of this fight. Now, moving on, we have a rematch, the first of 2 rematch on this card, and this is the chief support, I believe, if not, another undercard fight, but in my opinion, this is the chief support. Adam Kawanoski and Robert Helenius. This is the only other 12-round fight on the card. The only other 12-round fight other than the main event between Wilder and Fury for the heavyweight championship of the world. This is Adam Kawanoski and Robert Helenius. Now, Robert Helenius holds some WBA gold belt, some kind of belt that's supposed to get you a shot at the real World Heavyweight Championship down the road. Whatever the case may be, Adam Kawanoski is challenging because he lost his last fight to Robert Helenius. Now, their fight was a long time ago, 2020, March of 2020, nearly 500 days ago, somewhere in that vicinity. So both of these gentlemen have been the victim, or the subject rather, of inactivity, and some really tremendously long inactivity. 500 plus days not being in a boxing ring. I mean, that's a long fucking time. Let's get real. That's a long time. 500 days is well over a year. Oscar De La Hoya in 1996, after he had already established himself as the Golden Boy, he fought 5 times in that calendar year. Mike Tyson, in his first few years on the road to the heavyweight championship of the world, he fought something like 20 times in 2 years. Something in that vicinity. Tommy Morrison on the come up. He fought something like 20 times in his first year. Again, a lot of those fights were gimme fights. But even Canelo Alvarez, when he fights in November, hell, fought 4 times this year. 4 times in 12 months. We're talking these 2 guys, Adam Kawanoski and Robert Helenius, respectively. They both have not fought in over 500 days. Now look, Robert Helenius, he's 37 years old. He's 30 wins, 3 losses, 19 knockouts. All right, of his 3 losses, he's been knocked out twice and he lost 1 decision. Now, Robert Helenius, I will venture to say he's been fighting his entire career some stiffer level of competition than Adam Kawanoski, and I think it showed in their last fight. In their last fight, Adam Kawanoski was 21-0 going into the fight with Robert Helenius with 15 knockouts. And he got knocked out. He got served a knockout by being too aggressive, and Robert Helenius being very selective with his right hand counterpunching. That's exactly what happened. Look at the footage. Watch the fight. To me, it looked like Adam Kawanoski was outclassed, clearly, by a guy who's been swimming at a deeper depth of the heavyweight division for a longer period of time. Look, Robert Helenius, he's got 3 losses, yes, but they're world-class guys. He got knocked out by Gerald Washington. Now, Gerald Washington was a world title challenger, and is Gerald Washington a world-class fighter? Okay, yes, he is. He might be at the very shallow end of the depth of the world-class pool, but he's in the world-class pool. He is. He's a world title challenger, and he has world-class power. Gerald Washington does have world-class power. And that was on display in his fight against Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius was winning on the cards in that fight. When I was watching that fight, I thought Robert Helenius was clearly in control, and then he got stopped. However, he lost a decision to Dillian White, and he got knocked out by Johan Duhaupas a couple of years back. And Johan Duhaupas, let's be real, European champion, a world-class fighter of his own right. So Robert Helenius has really been a world-class fighter for a very long time. A very long time. And he's 37 years old. Now, Adam Kawanoski, 32 years old, Polish fighter, fights out of Brooklyn. I got a lot of respect for the guy. I really did like, babyface Adam Kawanoski. I do like babyface Adam Kawanoski. However, I feel this is going to be a case of repeat and not revenge. I see Robert Helenius knocking out Adam Kawanoski. I don't think it happens in the early part, the first quarter of the fight like it did the last time these gentlemen fought. But in this 12-round fight, I believe this knockout happens, I'll say, in the beginning of the 4th quarter, if not the end of the 3rd. So the 10th round or the 9th round. If you really want me to nail down one round, knockout round number 10. Once the championship rounds roll around, round number 10, I see Robert Helenius landing a right hand, following up with a left hook, and I see Adam Kawanoski hitting the canvas and not being able to make it back to his feet before the count of 10. That's the way I see it. Look, I wish both fighters nothing but the best. Adam Kawanoski's 32 years old. Robert Helenius is 37. The way I see it, Robert Helenius has never had a shot at the World's Heavyweight Championship. Never been a world title challenger. So I firmly believe at 37 years old, he's taking this very seriously. Look, the Robert Helenius that I saw against Adam Kawanoski was a different Robert Helenius than I saw in the ring at any other time in his career. From what I saw, the look in his eyes, the way he was focused, the way he was delivering his punches, it was all on point. It was all precise. It was all done with real precision. It wasn't sloppy. And Adam Kawanoski was just, what I saw was sloppily throwing a lot of punches, just throwing shit out there. Throwing whatever shit he could at the wall and hoping it would stick. And sometimes that works. But when you're getting tagged by Chris Arreola, and a very past Chris Arreola, you know, which happened in Adam Kawanoski's fight previous to fighting Robert Helenius, you know, Chris Arreola is not quite as precise with his punches as Robert Helenius, and he's not as big or as statuesque. So, you know, Robert Helenius, he's got what it takes, and I think he's going to knock out Adam Kawanoski again. So I see this being a repeat. Knockout round number 9. Now moving on to the main event. The reason that everyone's watching this video right now, the real reason I made this video, the reason they're having the fight tomorrow night, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Now, Deontay Wilder, 42 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. The only 2 flaws on his resume are at the hands of the champion, Tyson Fury, opposite the ring of him tomorrow night. 30-0, 21 knockouts, 1 draw with Deontay Wilder. A very controversial draw that most everyone with 2 eyes, 2 ears, and, you know, a sophisticated mind will give you the opinion that they feel that Tyson Fury actually did win the first fight that he had with Deontay Wilder by decision. But for whatever reason, call it home cooking, whatever, you know, cooking the books, they gave him a draw. I guess, you know, they wanted to set up a second fight or whatever. But in the second fight, 15 days ago now, Tyson Fury stopped Deontay Wilder. He used his aggression. He went forward and he got that guy out of there. The referee stopped the fight. His corner stopped the fight. But the referee was about to stop the fight himself. Deontay Wilder was bounced off the canvas twice. He was helpless up on the ropes. He was helpless in the corner. And, you know, Tyson Fury was just wailing away. You got a nearly 7 foot tall, 300-pound man wailing away on you in the corner, and you're not returning fire. Eventually, the referee's going to stop the fight. And, you know, I watched the weigh-in, and that's the reason that I waited till the 11th hour. I truly, when I give my real prediction, you know, I know the videos, a lot of people like them to come out a little earlier so they can watch them. But for me to really give my true prediction, I got to watch the weigh-in. I got to watch the weigh-in. Because, you know, I'll admit it, the Usyk and AJ video that I made it early. And when I saw the UK fans boo, you know, the national anthem of the Ukraine, I knew that Usyk was going to win. I placed a bet, and I won. And that's not a narrative, that's what I did. And look, ego aside, my video prediction was wrong, but my real prediction, after I saw, you know, after the weigh-in, after I saw everything I could, I got it right. And I don't have that advantage right now. You know, they haven't played the national anthems. They haven't played, you know, the UK national anthem and the United States national anthem tomorrow. But I did see the weigh-in today. Okay? And from what I saw in the weigh-in, from what I saw in the press conference this week, Deontay Wilder is a strange and mentally broken man, in my opinion, when it comes to the boxing ring. And look, I've got to tell you, I really wanted to like Deontay Wilder for a very long time. I respect the reason he started boxing. He started boxing because his daughter had some sort of ailment, and he needed to get to the front of the line to make a lot of money. He didn't have time to develop his basketball career, his football career, or some kind of other athletic career. Prize fighting was something that he could do and make money quickly to help support his daughter and his family. And I respect that. And he's an American. And I'm an American. So naturally, I would like to, I would like to be a fan of or root for or be behind the American fighter. But over the past 4 years, in his actions, in his interviews, in the ring, it's just been a deterioration. A complete deterioration. I mean, it's just been just failure after failure in the ring, in interviews, making excuses after the loss, the whole thing, making poor financial decisions, poor promotional decisions. I mean, who turns down $100 million? Who turns down $100 million? Who turns down $20 million to fight Dominic Brazil? These things don't make any sense. Deontay Wilder, after the draw he had with Tyson Fury, was offered more money, admittedly out of his own mouth, more money to fight Anthony Joshua. A 3-fight deal with DAZN to fight Brazil, his mandatory, which he did anyway, and got paid less money to do so, and to have 2 fights with Anthony Joshua for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And in that time frame, Andy Ruiz Jr. went over there, went in the ring with Anthony Joshua, and he stopped him. Bounced him off the canvas 4 times, and he stopped him. So the opportunity for Deontay Wilder was there, and he made a poor financial decision. And given what I've seen from Anthony Joshua over his past few fights, it's still very questionable if he could beat Deontay Wilder. Obviously, the fight hasn't taken place. And obviously, when it comes to the negotiations, both teams are at fault, but Wilder is definitely more at fault. His team is more at fault, in my opinion, and in most sophisticated people's opinions. Regardless of that, in the ring tomorrow night, against Tyson Fury, like I said, I saw a broken man at the press conference. I saw a broken man at the weigh-in, and although he looked like he bulked up a little bit, and that might help him a little, I think he's going to get stopped again by Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury is just too much for him, and I think Tyson Fury is just when it comes to playing the chess, one-on-one, in a fight, I think Tyson Fury, since his mental breakdown after the Klitschko, whatever happened there, cocaine, whatever it was, whatever happened there, moving on from that, Tyson Fury has, since his comeback, he's been a mental mastermind. He's been a chess player when it comes to the mental game of boxing. And, the smarter man always wins in that ring. Both guys prepared, both guys trained, the smarter guy always wins. And when it comes down to mental preparation and being a real chess player of the mental game of boxing, and when it comes to being a chess player inside that ring, Tyson Fury's more skilled than Deontay Wilder. Tyson Fury's smarter than Deontay Wilder. And Tyson Fury's bigger than Deontay Wilder. He's got the reach. He's got the weight. He came in this time at the scales 277 pounds. I believe last time he was 269. This time 277. So he's even bigger. Yeah, Wilder's bigger. He put on some weight too. But Tyson Fury's got the reach. And Tyson Fury proved last time that he's got the will to win. And he's got the mental makeup to break down Deontay Wilder. Absolutely. So my pick is Tyson Fury stopping Deontay Wilder, not knocking him out. I don't think he has what it takes to hit him with one shot and knock him out cold. And I don't think he's going to beat him. I don't think he's going to beat Wilder up to the point where Wilder cannot, answer the count of 10. But I believe the referee will stop the fight, and it will be a stoppage in round number 10 for Tyson Fury. So that's right. You heard it here first. Everybody's favorite boxing shaman, Robert Helenius, F.A. Ashagba, Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury to win. Till we meet again, my friends, it's been a pleasure. I love each and every one of you, and you should all be excited. It's going to be a great day. Tomorrow, all day, we got boxing. There's a show over there in the UK on DAZN, and obviously we have the show here in the United States of America on pay-per-view tomorrow night from Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, till we meet again. Peace!